What do we do?
Who looks terrible on there?
Okay, here we go. Stand by, please. 3, 2, 1. Bobbie Wygant, I'm easy interview.
Now, Morgan, you see the reputation I have among this crew here.
Yes, I do, Bobbie.
I'm the nitty-gritty, picky one.
All right.
But I think that's all right, don't you?
Yeah,
I
that's
bet
fine,
you're pretty
yeah.
nitty-gritty too, aren't you?
Sometimes. I have my moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, let me congratulate you on driving Miss Daisy. I never got to see you do that on stage, Morgan. And I am so thrilled and so happy with this movie.
Oh,
And your
great.
performance. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
What would you have done, how would you have felt had they given the movie role to someone else?
I'd probably killed somebody.
Care to mention any names?
No, she wouldn't like it if I called her name.
Was there ever any doubt that you would not do the movie as well?
Well, doubt, I don't know if that was, I would call it doubt, but there certainly wasn't any certainty that I would, you know. I mean, while I was still doing the play, Richard Zanuck came and said, but they wouldn't tell me that I had the movie role, you know, not until they were ready to shoot it. And he
So
said,
you think they did read some other people?
I can't say. They won't ever tell me that. I don't know. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know. I'm going, yes, I can say. I will say, no, they didn't.
All right. So it was all just that producer agent stuff going on. Yes, we know that.
Probably.
Do you have any preference, the play over the movie?
No, I really don't. I mean, the play, the thing that you get from doing a play is instant and total gratification. I mean, if you do it right, the audience jumps to their feet and thunderous applause. It's right there. You come out, you take your bow, you know, and you make a big deal out of the fact that here I am now with the makeup on, but see, I'm walking different, and I'm not really this or that or the other, you know, and thank you very much for that. Then when you do the film, you do it and you go, well, boy, so hope we got it. And if it comes out and they say, oh, great, then you're back to feeling, okay, we did it again. But you don't get instant gratification, you know, not from an audience.
Did your character change any from the play in this film?
I hope not. I hope not. I didn't want him to change at all because I thought it was a wonderful character on the stage. Physically, there were changes because of makeup considerations and hair and all that, but emotionally, I hope it didn't change.
Is your character and even the character of Miss Daisy, are they based on real people?
Yes, yes.
They are?
Yes. Yeah. Alfred's grandmother, I think, was Miss Daisy.
And she had a chauffeur?
Yeah, I saw his picture. Yeah.
And they're no longer living?
They're no longer living. But I spoke to Hoke's son, because he came up to New York from Atlanta to see the play. And he came backstage and said, I never thought I'd see my grandfather again in life. I mean, my father. I never thought I'd see my father again. I said, you mean I did it all right? He said, you did it perfect.
What a great compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a fantastic year for you, Morgan. Really, hasn't it?
It's not wood. Mm-hmm.
We saw your movie Glory, and a really spectacular film. But one thing disappointed me. I thought Rollins was going to be a bigger character and we would see more of him and know more about him. Now, was he supposed to be, no?
No.
Everything you shot is there?
Everything I shot was there. Everything I read in the original script was there. Yeah.
What was it about that movie that made you want to do it?
Well, it's a historical piece, and it deals with a segment of American history that's been totally ignored. I mean, how many people do you think realize that there were black soldiers who fought in the Civil War? I think better than 90% of the population is ignorant of that fact. And there are lots of others, you know, and I'm waiting for someone to come along with different scripts exactly like that, you know.
You always knew about that, Morgan?
I always knew about that. Not always, but I've known about it for many years, yes. I mean, I know that in World War I, during that period, Woodrow Wilson, who was president at the time, promised the American public that we would not get into the conflagration that was going on in Europe. But because we had allies over there, namely the French, who've been staunch allies since the Revolutionary War, they said, you gotta help us with something, you know. So we said, okay, well, we'll send you war materials, and we'll send you someone to unload them at the dock so you don't have to use your own troops for that. And they sent this regiment of black soldiers over there, and the French said, well, we don't need fighting troops to unloading ships. And they put those soldiers in the trenches, and those were the first Americans in World War I, combat troops.
How do you think blacks, and particularly young blacks, will respond to Glory?
I'm hoping they'll get a shot in the arm and a good, positive sense of themselves and their historic place in this country, because they seem not to know that they have one.
You really think they still don't know?
How could they know? Who's ever told them?
But don't you think young blacks have more self-esteem now than...
Sure, they have more self-esteem, but that's not enough. That self-esteem is only about 10 years old. It should be 200 years old. It should be 400 years old. We fought in the Revolutionary War. We helped secure this country. We didn't just pick cotton, moan, and get whipped, and hung, and all that kind of stuff. That's all too negative for me. We did the good stuff, too.
And you're doing lots of good stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Morgan, it's wonderful to see you again, and I hope that we'll have the pleasure of talking with you again real soon.
Me too.
And again, congratulations on Driving Miss Daisy.
I'll take my third bow.
And if you don't get an Oscar nomination,